people do wonder why all mansions that people build in the villages in southeast Nigeria should be invested in other areas that will create employment and boost the economy of the region. Why are they not building hotels, business plazas, or apartments in many cities in the southeast? A village mansion does not have a return on investment. It is like money thrown away or used in drinking in a bar. A hotel or apartment building near a city will not only return your capital but make you some profit. Why are people building thousands of empty mansions that no one lives in? A lot of people do wonder why. Why do Igbo people build beautiful mansions in the village that they hardly live in? In fact, mice, wall geckos, and insects enjoy these homes more than the owners. Although it is no one's business how someone spends his money, but some people feel that it is lack of financial discipline that makes someone to build an expensive mansion as a second home. It is a known fact that majority of Igbos live outside their homeland. They only travel home during the holiday periods like Christmas, Easter, and for other family-related engagements. So if they rarely live in these mansions, why construct an expensive one? Why not a 2 or 3 bedroom bungalow instead of these large and extravagant duplexes? This brings us to a recent story of a businessman who celebrated the housewarming of his luxury home in the village. It was a well-attended ceremony, and clips of the event went viral on social media, which led to his supplier, his business supplier, the person that supplies him goods abroad, seeing the clips. He was furious, not because the businessman was owing him, but because he felt it wasn't a good investment decision to build a luxury country home that he will visit a few weekends in a year. It was completely strange to him. He couldn't understand why the businessman built such a magnificent mansion in the village. There's another story of a man living in the United States who returned to Nigeria with his American wife. After many years of being abroad, they quickly went to the village in the southeast. He was in a hurry to show his wife the mansion he built in the village, you know, the euphoria. It's been a long time he hasn't been around. When he showed the house to the wife was furious. He gave him a hot slap and shouted back at him to know why he built a house without her knowledge in the first place. She again asked him if he had decided to permanently move back to Nigeria, because she couldn't understand why. She was just trying to understand why her husband needed a home in Nigeria when they have a home in US. Not to talk of a large one. You know, she felt they could have built a small house where they would come and stay on holiday and go back. But she was surprised to see that her husband built a large mansion in the village where only rats and all whatnot, rodents will live. Before family members could intervene, she, you know, as white people do, she has started shouting divorce and all that. Well, apart from the bragging rights and showing off that one has arrived, you know, you've been abroad for some time and you came back, you are celebrating a new house, you warm the house, you show people, oh boy, I don't get money, you know. The major reason Igbo people build these homes in the village is because of their culture and history. Their history can be traced back to Nri in Anambra State. Nri, although many of you know that, Nri used to be a kingdom back in the day, and it influenced and permanently changed the Igbo culture. As you can see, even in present day Nri, they try to outdo each other. It's a competition. It looks like a city, almost like a city. You know, houses, small houses everywhere. Beautiful. In Igbo land, the first son in a family naturally inherits his father's house in the village. This house is commonly referred to as Obi. The other sons of the father are expected to move out of the Obi and build their own homes. This process of moving out of the Obi is called Ipu-Obi. The father is expected to share other lands, if he has any, among his remaining sons, to enable them to leave the family house and start their own families. In some parts of Igbo land, a man will not be regarded in the community as having arrived if he hasn't built anything in the village. He hasn't done any investment, no house, nothing. No respect for you. A house commands respect in the community, most especially a big and beautiful one. So many people like to build a big house, even if it's his last kobo, just to show off, you know. In some communities, it is a serious competition. People try to outdo each other. As they say, what is worth doing is worth doing better, or in a grand scale, in a beautiful way, you know. As a matter of fact, many people build better and more expensive homes in the village than the ones they live in the cities, in Lagos. Some people even in Lagos, they build small homes, they buy a small plot of land and build a small house, although it might be because of the cost that houses, land are more expensive in the cities. But what they build in the village is like times 10 of what they build in the city centers where they live permanently. You know, some people see it as showing off, while others see it as akuluono. Akuluono simply means that if someone is wealthy and popular in the city or abroad, wherever you are outside your village, but the person has not done any significant investment in his hometown, no one knows him. No one recognizes him, no one accords him any sort of respect, regard in the community. So all these little pressures from many angles push a lot of Igbo people to build homes in the village. So while building it, some build it in a gigantic manner. Yes, my own is the highest. They will be saying, this one, my own. That one, you don't know that building there, that is my house. Let me get them. For a man to be able to build a home, he has to make money first. Yes, you don't build a house with your hands or bare hands. You build it with money. You buy all the materials with money. So you have to make money first. So in as much as we know we have to make money in order to build a house, the other pressures that village people, relatives, have you not built your own house? Did you not see your age mate building house? All these pressures make a lot of people, they are ready to take any risk to make money in order to be successful. In fact, they are good risk takers in business, you know, in order to be successful. Some people still ask if it is a wise investment splurging millions of naira in a home inside a village. While this is a genuine concern, cost isn't a concern to many rich people, because this person you are talking about, maybe he has already done the investment you want him to do in many cities, apartments, hotels. So you will say, someone of my status, I have to have a large mansion in the village. So Cost is not a concern. Lack of investment or throwing away money is not a concern to some people. In fact, what it means is that you can't put a value on the kind of respect that people receive from having such big houses. It is a material world after all. You know, people respect your aura, what is around you, what you command, the kind of car you're driving, the kind of clothes you wear. You know, people respect all that. So people do all they can in order to look good, live large, and give a false impression that there is money, you know, in order to command respect. Well, the good news is that things are changing right now, because there was a time people built homes in the village while they were still living in rented apartments in the cities where they do business, you know. So things have started changing. They never considered the fact that the business that they make the money from might take a hit one day. You know, it is from the business you make the money and you go and build house. Your first investment is to go and build house in the village. What if that business takes a hit? That means you will not be able to fall back on anyone or any